Right, so there's actually a missile chest we can get here too. Max missile increased by 24. If you actually manage to avoid missile upgrades and expansions up until this point, that missile upgrade becomes missile plus 100.
Wow.
Actually, because they really want you to have missiles. Well, I think they really want you to have missiles for the first boss.
Okay.
You know, but it's like it's one of those little kooky Easter eggs. Like, how the hell does anybody else figure this out? Get away!
Yeah, more than enough time to get away from that. So.
Yeah. Well, I was not in the best shape. Hey, buddy. Ready to rock some shit?
So what are you guys doing at this point?
Welcome back to Case. Well, that's boss 1. The Demon Crown will be restored a new and infinite number of times so long as Ballos' heart still beats.
Baller.
That is the supreme magical power of his eternally enraged soul. It is intrinsically imbued into his evil creation, the Demon Crown. Well, so it looks like if we want to permanently stop the Demon Crown, we need to defeat Ballos. Fuck. Well, Ballos is behind that door. We can't open. That's the end of the game, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, this is the statue room that we were looking at earlier. Looks like the orange dude managed to finish the statue.
Interesting. So these were previous holders of the Demon Crown.
Basically, yeah.
Date Fuyehiko?
Is a, yeah, Fuyehiko. Anutapone?
Anatapone.
Miyakito. And Halder. And Bob. This is the door we want. Alright, so all that's left is Ballos. Please kill my mouse. Okay, well, we'll do that.
Well, all right.
Doing so will liberate Misery from her eternal curse.
But I don't want her to suffer.
This is the only way that a recurrence of the tragedy can be stopped. My master's name is Ballos. Bark, bark.
Wolf.
His magic is beyond.
That dies. Magic is beyond any control.
So what am I supposed to do?
You're telling us to kill him. We can't kill him if he can't die.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, those are spikes. So.
Fucking wow.
That's him?
Yeah, that's Ballos. Welcome. I am Ballos.
You look gross.
He looks like Shrek.
He actually does.
Yeah, so this is the dude that made the Demon's Crown, and he's the reason why the island is afloat and all that sort of thing, because he's actually a really powerful wizard.
Huh.
And we're fighting this dude 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Oh, fucking hell.
4?
Yeah. So the first phase...
I like the dread in your voice on that one.
The first phase is he likes to dash... Think of it like the second form Doctor, only a little more aggressive. He's not really the issue. Let's just roll the dice and see what happens.
Boy.
I will use the life pot in case we need it, because this is honestly the reason why you hold on to the life pot.
Yeah.
Just so you can get through this guy's 4 phases.
I wish it gave you like more.
I wish the fucking story was more centered around this.
Because like, they just shoot him, like shoot Horn and this guy like just at the last minute, from what I see.
Okay. I didn't want to be a bitch, but I gotta do it. And that's pretty much phase 1's entire pattern. Like, he dashes towards you, then dashes up when he gets close enough to you. And then when he lands, he does a shockwave, so we gotta watch out.
Shockwave phase. No, it's the lightning phase, I'm sorry. Lightning round.
Lightning round.
I really don't like the idea of this asshole hitting super hard and 4 phases.
Yeah, because the thing is that there is a way you can cheese the phases. I'm not good at it, though. That's the thing. And by the way, you can kill those bats repeatedly. Actually, I'm probably going to be doing that to refill health.
What the fuck?
All right, so this guy's weak point is the eyes. All he does is jump.
So think Zelda.
But every time he jumps, the shockwave of bones hitting the floor, so you have to watch out for those, too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
You
this is
know.
like I was low on health.
Please God, tell me. Please God, tell me.
We have
There's
to do
no
it.
save.
We have to do it.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, this is
No.
absolute worst part
Bale,
of the game.
get the fuck off the island. Leave her to die. Bye. Like, this is
But-
just... No.
At this point, I can't.
So here's the thing. If it ends up being too much for you, you go to this time-traveling bookshelf.
Okay.
Who sets the clock back before you enter this room. That way you can just proceed to get to the normal ending. I don't want to do that, obviously. So...
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, because you guys are already giving your thoughts about this sort of thing. I think it's clear what you guys feel at this point.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. Like, I honestly hate this fucking game. Like, Like, it's so fucking convoluted, and it just like pulls away everything you need to be prepared for this.
Are you talking about the story or
The story? It's fine. Story's fine.
It
I'm
is.
talking about gameplay aspects.
But what's convoluted about the gameplay?
For one thing, about trying to get like the best ending.
Yeah, like
Every
this is
intricate
just
thing
straight
that
up unfair.
it's like literally time travel. If you step on a fucking mosquito, it changes everything.
That's
That's
butterfly-
what this is.
That's butterfly effect, Elliot, but you're right. Yeah, this is straight up like nah. I'm in the same boat. Fuck this game.
Okay, so here we are. The reason why this video took longer to release than the others was because, well, I had a feeling this might have been the case. But yeah, it's just me now, folks. We're going through the remainder of the game solo, and I had to do this at my own time because Ellie and Sabrina got their own things to do, as does Matt. And, well, I mean, what can you do, especially with Cave Story multiplayer? And, well, first off, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Let's Play. It was quite the adventure. I knew full well what we were probably getting into from, you know, moment one, because I had some experience with Cave Story co-op beforehand with my uncle, let's see, a couple of months from the recording. And we had a few issues here and there, and I was like, oh, I gotta do this at some point with Elliot. That's gonna be a mess. But, you know, well, it seems a lot of people seem to like it, so I figured we had nothing to lose. It came at kind of a cost, though. I think I gave Elliot and Matt the wrong idea of what Cave Story is like as a game, because, you know, as a solo adventure, I really do enjoy Cave Story. Up until the end of the game. Like this place right here, the final area, the Bloodstained Sanctuary, or Hell. There's a little sign at the beginning of the area. If you manage to reach it, you can read it. It does say, "Welcome to Hell." I'm not sure if that was kept in Cave Story Plus for the Switch, but if it is, I don't know about it. The Bloodstained Sanctuary, I don't know. It's like, difficulty spike doesn't accurately describe it. But here's the thing, though. It's only a difficulty spike in how much you're required to do in one sitting. You know, if you break every area down individually, and you take your sweet ass time, which is what I'm doing for this run here. This is the successful run. When you take it very slowly, it's not that horrible, but it's like, if you fuck up so late in the end of it, you got to do it all again because there's no checkpoints. And this can, you know, first time, you could be here for like 8 to 9, maybe 10 minutes. And you fuck up at the very end of the boss fight, and you gotta do it all over again. And it's so demoralizing, it's so draining. And, you know, originally, when Elliot and Matt were still here for the recording session, I was just gonna try and do the solo one right then and there so that I can give the footage to Sabrina. And she can do whatever the hell she wants with it. But, you know, we were already a few hours into recording and stuff. We had other things to do. I couldn't do it, and because I died at the very end of Ballos. I think you guys probably saw that failed attempt. And I just like, oh man, I got other things to do today. It's like, I can't put any more time into this. So I finally took some time for myself to finish the rest of the run. And here you are. Yeah, I love Cave Story. Cave Story is really good. I have no problem revisiting it. You know, it doesn't ask for much in my opinion. It's also not very long. You can beat it like 4 or 5 hours casually. Again, my only problems is the last area here. And honestly, the control. The control is just one of those things that I just cannot defend because you're way too fucking floaty. And your momentum carries through you so much. And when you gotta do precision platforming in areas like this, or in the final the last cave, or the hidden cave, whatever it is, you know, you're relying on the boosters so much. Not so much to get through the area, but to correct your positioning at the last second. And then you run into spikes, which itself like bounces you up and makes you flustered. You know, it's if Cave Story's controls were a little tighter, then I think it'd be I don't want to say perfect, but it would be, that itself would fix a lot of the issues I have with the platforming challenges of this game. That said, that's not the case. I don't know, to this day, I still have not played Cave Story 3D on the 3DS. And I don't know if maybe the control was fine-tuned or it's just the same, only now everything's 2.5D. If you guys could let me know in the comment section, actually, I'd appreciate that. I'm also getting ready to launch the Round 2 series on the main channel because I'm in the middle of a Pokemon marathon right now, and I figured in between doing RPGs, because those videos take some time to produce, I'd finally start doing the Round 2 series. And Cave Story was one of the first games I was going to do besides Sonic Mania. Because when I looked at Cave Story originally, it was just a WiiWare release years ago. And that was still pretty much the original game with updated graphics and curly mode. I'm not even sure if it had the Wind Fortress. But since then, you know, we got Cave Story Plus, which had a few new things added to it, which I probably won't be showing off for this playthrough unless you guys want me to spend some time with it. But those are enough to, you know, to qualify for a revisit for a video, and I would like to do that because, you know, Cave Story by yourself, it's a pretty good time, man. I gotta say, the co-op is something I thought that should have been implemented better. You know, because the thing that fucks me up the most is not so much like having two players at once deal with Cave Story's control issues. It's just the utter chaos and the fact that if one player dies, both die. You know, I think that how it should have worked, and maybe it does in a hidden mode that I don't know about. If one player dies, that player remains dead, but the remaining player can still, you know, play the game, and then maybe you get to a save point, like a full restore that restores both players. But to have the game immediately end when someone dies makes it next to impossible to play. Especially if you guys are not like in sync in player ability, which in this playthrough hasn't been the case because Elliot's never played this game before, and as a result, he's probably never gonna touch this game again. I don't blame him. That's my fault. You know, I don't think anybody's first experience of Cave Story should be co-op. This was originally programmed to be a solo adventure, and I think it needs to be played as a solo adventure before you decide to, you know, test your luck with the co-op. And well, maybe one day when Elliot, you know, is old, has a bunch of kids, he's like, you know what, one of my past regrets is not finishing Cave Story. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's thinking that right now. But no, okay, let's continue on. This is the final area. This is the final gauntlet with Ballos, who just kind of fucking appears out of nowhere. This part of the story sucks. Because, you know, you're dealing with the antagonist of the entire game is the Doctor. You deal with the Doctor. It's like, oh no, but you know the island is you know, the island floats or falls because of this dude inside named Ballos. It's like, okay, where'd he come from? It's like, well, we're gonna give you all the fucking exposition you need in your first run of the game, which is really super annoying, by the way. In your first run of the Blunt State Sanctuary, you're pausing constantly because the text boxes just interrupt your flow, and it's like, god damn it. It's like, can I just get a move on, please? I just want to play the game. You know, when you die and you don't get those text boxes again, so you can just keep going here. Right now, I'm gonna show you the quick kill, because basically the area right underneath Ballos' eye is a safe zone. You can stay on it right now. That's why I'm not taking any damage. And for this, you really want to do this because this part right here, the final phase, is the most obnoxious if you let it go on too long. Use invincibility frames, hover up to the eye, get your super missiles out, which, by the way, if you notice throughout the run, I've been upgrading my missiles and nothing but my missiles because strictly for that strategy right there. Powered up super missiles at point blank do an obnoxious amount of damage. It's probably the strongest weapon in the game if you can manage to spam it entirely. So what you do is that during the final phase, because what happens is that he repositions himself in the center before the weak point is exposed. And there's a number of things you can do. You can either intentionally collide with the spiked balls surrounding the head, or you can take damage from the spikes that rise up from the ground. They don't do lethal damage. I think they only do like 8 or 10 damage. And then you can just float up to Ballos' eye right there. You just whip out your super missiles, fucking go to town as soon as the eye opens, and there you go. It should take you like less than 5 seconds. Depends on how good you are at mashing buttons. But the faster you do it, the faster you kill the dude. You don't have to deal with that phase. Because that phase, if you're not doing that strategy, gets super fucking chaotic. You know, you got the spinning platforms, you got the spiked ball surrounding the head, and then he starts summoning a bunch of those fucking annoying as shit angels. and they're in their berserker mode because they're red and they start flying all over the place. It is a mess. And if you still have a life pod at that point, you're likely using it then and there. And it is a utter mess. But that said, we finished the game. So this is a little weird because when you defeat the Doctor and you take care of the undead core, the island begins falling. And everybody's got to get the hell out of there. And unless you decide to, you know what, I need a rest. I need to go back inside the shed and take a rest. But then that's where you get access to the Bloodstained Sanctuary. And that's when Ballos is suddenly thrown into the equation. And it turns out that he's this magical being that was so powerful that he ended up like wiping out his wife and his kid. And he was sealed inside the island thanks to Jenka, who was actually his older sister. And for years, his power manifested into this hatred that kind of spread throughout the island. And it was, I don't know, we just had to deal with it now suddenly because it's suddenly an issue. So we head inside the Bloodstained Sanctuary and we take care of Ballos, and suddenly the island stops falling. Like, I don't understand that. The island stops falling, but we decide to get the hell out of there anyway because our mission is accomplished. You know, Quote and Curly were robots originally designed to destroy the crown that the Doctor took. The crown's destroyed, our mission's accomplished, so we might as well get the hell out of there. But we're also going to be taking Balrog with us because, you know, he's a good dude. He's a good soul. Balrog and Misery were under the control from the crown. Whoever has the crown, Balrog and Misery have to listen to. And Misery is probably like, man, I really wish I didn't make that crown. But the crown is destroyed. Balrog and Misery can now do whatever the hell they want, and Balrog will be living with us for the rest of our days. There's no sequel to anything to Cave Story. It's, you know, it was originally a freeware PC game made by one dude. Has been constantly re-released and refurbished into what we have here now for the Switch, thanks to Nicholas. And honestly, it's like, I think Nicholas thinks they probably own the game now. How they might as well have, given how much they've fucked with it. You know, I'm actually wondering what the original creator of Cave Story is doing nowadays. You know, how much input does he have with all these re-releases? You know, is he like a creative consultant? He's like, you know what, we can add a Wind Fortress mode where we fight a bunch of naked Curly clones, a Sandpit mode, which is obnoxious as hell, and a Boss Rush mode. Yeah, you can add that to that. I would have added it myself, but I didn't have any time. I wanted to move on to other things. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about. Never really considered it. Maybe I should. Might make for some good research when I do the round 2 of Cave Story. And just spend some more time on that. But that's the end of the game. Ballos is defeated. All is well. And we get a little credits roll here. I always think of Donkey Kong Country when we get the enemy roll. Nice little flavor text here. Blocks passages delete is the name of it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the co-op playthrough for the majority of this run. I am not apologizing to Elliot or Matt. I still love the game. Again, it's great as a solo adventure. As a solo adventure, you can take your time. You don't have to worry about both players being in perfect harmony with each other. I think Cave Story is great. The only problems is the very end of the game because it asks you to do so much suddenly, and it's just obnoxious. And the control for precision platforming is not great. You're gonna slip and fall a lot of times. Your jump is floaty as hell, and things can get messy really fast when you got a bunch of enemies on your ass and things just grow out of control. But you stick to it, you keep playing the game, you'll beat it in no time. I think you will anyway. Well, there's not much else I can say right there. Yeah, I guess there you go. Daisuke's got the right idea. Thank you very much. Take a bow, guys. Well, you can't because your sprites are limited as hell. I really wanted to unlock the Samus sprite for Curly. I don't know how to do the Halloween shit, actually, now that I think about it. Again, something for the round 2 video. Well, I'll catch you guys next time. You can catch more previous playthroughs here in the end card. And, well, we might be doing Cuphead sooner rather than later because I know at least they'll enjoy that game. I will too. It should be a good time. See you guys next time. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care.